What's up, fellow football fans? This is Bruno here with the Football Channel, and today I want to talk about a couple of things. The first thing, I'm going to talk a little bit about the game that we just watched, a fantastic game once again in the Premier League, Aston Villa against Leeds United. It didn't disappoint. It was a very interesting game. Because these are two of the teams, arguably two of the three teams that are playing the most surprising football in the Premier League, the biggest overachievers. So I'm going to talk about that game first, and then I'm going to talk about all the games that we can expect to see this weekend. There are a lot of great games on Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. There's a couple of games that I want to talk about. Okay, let's start with the Aston Villa Leeds United game. I was very excited going into this match because Aston Villa was the big surprise so far in this campaign, arguably. They won 4 games out of 4 in the first 4 Premier League matches that they played. And this is a side that this is only their second year playing the Premier League since they came back. So very, very surprising start of the season for this Aston Villa team that has been looking absolutely incredible until today, of course. And then Leeds United, very interesting side. They just came back to the Premier League after a very lengthy spell in the Championship and even in the 3rd Division. And this, remember, Leeds United is one of the historical teams in English football and in European football even. This is like growing up personally. I like Leeds United for 2 reasons. Because the first one is that growing up, Leeds United was a fantastic side full of very exciting young players. They had Mark Viduka, Harry Kewell, the 2 best Australian players of all time, but also a bunch of other. They always had great players like Alan Smith as well. They always seem to have Rio Ferdinand. They always seem to have a very cool team full of really cool players, young players often, and I really enjoy watching Leeds United growing up. And then that was before the whole collapse. They went down to the 2nd Division and 3rd Division, and that kind of coincided, unfortunately, with me going to school, going to university in Leeds, and I never got to see a great Leeds United team. They were playing the 2nd Division, even the 3rd Division, I think, my first year there. So it was really unfortunate that I never got to see a great Leeds United while I was studying there. But I'm so happy that they're back, and I think Marcelo Bielsa deserves all the credit because he really created a fantastic team. He was able to win the championship, return the pride to the city of Leeds and to Leeds United fans and players, and it's very exciting to see Leeds United make a comeback to the Premier League and do it in style, because even before today they were playing very good football. Even the games that they did not win, they looked good, like the game that they lost against Liverpool, scoring 3 goals against the leading side in England. So these were really two of the 3 most surprising sides so far in the Premier League this season. The other one, obviously, Everton. I'm going to talk about Everton a little bit later in this video, but because they also have a very interesting match this weekend. But Aston Villa and Leeds, fantastic sides, really surprising what they're doing in the Premier League. And Aston Villa, if they won today, they would have gone top of the table with 5 wins in their first 5 matches, which would have been absolutely insane. But that did not happen. They were playing at home, but they got crushed by Leeds United, who just came to Birmingham and they just made it their own city. I mean, they just took over Birmingham. Fantastic match for Leeds United. And I gotta say, in particular, Bamford, he scored a hat-trick. It's his first hat-trick for Leeds United, and he looked absolutely phenomenal. He has, I believe now, 7 goals in 6 games or something to that effect, 6 goals in 5 games. It is just incredible. This is this English forward. Leeds United got him 2-3 years ago in order to help them with their championship campaign, and he did, scoring goals, playing well. He was able to contribute to Leeds United, help them get into the Premier League again. And but I don't think anybody really expected this guy to come into the Premier League, this guy who used to play in the Championship and really look like one of the best forwards in the Premier League, and certainly one of the best English forwards so far in the competition. And then you see here Rafinha as well. He got to play a little bit. Their new signing, Brazilian forward winger that they got from the French league, was also able to play today. But Leeds United, with that hat trick by Bamford, I mean, it was fantastic, and they're just playing really good attacking football, and they're very physical. They're in great shape. They looked really above Aston Villa physically in terms of their will, their capacity to really go at it during 90 minutes, and they just outplayed Aston Villa, I should say. They outplayed Aston Villa. They outclassed Aston Villa. They looked the fitter team, the more motivated side, the better side, really, than Aston Villa. And I think they are better than Aston Villa, especially looking at what we saw today. And a great result for Leeds United. And now, looking at the table now, Aston Villa is second, and Leeds United are third. So, very surprising start to the Premier League. Everton first, Aston Villa second, Leeds United third, and Liverpool fourth, and Leicester City fifth. So, in that top five, only really one top six club, traditionally top six club, one of the big six, Liverpool, obviously. The other ones, Leicester City, and especially Leeds United, Aston Villa, and Everton, kind of a surprise. And obviously, we're talking about 5-6 match days. We still have to see what happens this weekend. Like Bielsa said, in his interview towards the end of the game, this is still very early in the competition, and in every match so far, or every match at this point, changes what we see in the table. Teams go up, teams go down, so we can't be very attached to the positions at this point, but it is considerable, the fact that Everton, Aston Villa, and Leeds United had such a strong start, and that really makes the Premier League more exciting. Alongside with the sort of like shaky campaigns of Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, even Liverpool, who are giving away points that they ordinarily do not. So really exciting start to the Premier League. Now, that's it for Aston Villa Leeds United. It was a fantastic game, but now I want to talk about the great games that we can expect to see this following weekend. And we're going to have the big day really is tomorrow. It's Saturday, a bunch of great games in the Premier League, and obviously not only the Premier League. There's a big one, not in the Premier League game, but I'm going to start with West Ham United, Manchester City, because it's the first game of the day pretty much. It's pretty early here in the United States. It's going to be I'm going to watch it at 6:30 in the morning. I'm going to have to try to wake up for that one because it's a great game. West Ham United, Manchester City. And look, West Ham United, they're 10th in the table right now, one position above Manchester City. I mean, this is kind of a crazy thing to say after we've only seen four or five match days. Manchester City has played 4 games so far, and West Ham United 5 games. Still, to see West Ham United above Manchester City in the table looks a little bit weird. But look, this West Ham United, look at what they did against Tottenham. They were 3 goals behind, and they came back to tie that game. It was 3-3 with that fantastic Lanzini goal at the end of the game. So West Ham United comes into this game very motivated. They're going to play at home, obviously, with the COVID. The home crowd is not really a factor, but still, I think they have a chance. Manchester City have been pretty regular. They beat Porto in midweek in the Champions League, but they didn't look super dominating against Porto. I think West Ham United might have a chance to get a victory. Is going to be tough, but at least a point there. Obviously, Manchester City are the favorites for that game. I expect to see them win that match, but I think that's a very good match, especially because ever since three years ago or so, I had a fantastic football manager run with West Ham United. I'm kind of a West Ham United sympathizer, so I kind of want to see them do well against Manchester City, especially after that game, that fantastic game against Tottenham. Now, let's talk about the big matches now. Barcelona, Real Madrid, El Clasico. I'm going in order here of when the matches are going to take place, if you're wondering. So Barcelona, Real Madrid, the big match in European club football. And we're going to see the Clasico this weekend. I can't wait. It's going to be tomorrow at 9 o'clock here in the United States. So in Europe, around 3 o'clock in England, 4 o'clock in continental Europe. Man, this is going to be a fantastic game, I believe. Obviously, the heavy hitters, as you can see in this image here that I got from Spanish newspaper AS. On Real Madrid side, you have the Sergio Ramos, Modric, Benzema. On Barcelona side, Griezmann, Ter Stegen, and obviously the big man, Lionel Messi, arguably the best player in his generation, the best player in the world, and obviously you can say Cristiano Ronaldo as well, and that would be also correct probably, but they're just the two greats, obviously. But Lionel Messi, he's just a phenomenon, and he's going to be a factor like he always is. He's the big man for Barcelona. Not literally, but he's their great player, and he's really still very influential for them. Now, Barcelona and Real Madrid come into this match in kind of like different situations here, because especially considering the midweek results in the Champions League. Barcelona had a fantastic debut in this year's Champions League, beating Ferencváros, expected of course, but they beat Ferencváros 5-1. They didn't disappoint. They played great football and dominated. Real Madrid, though, they were also expected to win against Shakhtar at home, and instead they conceded 3 goals just in the first half. Then they went back and they almost tied the game. It ended 2-3 with the Valverde goal disallowed at the very end of the game because of an offside, and it was rightfully disallowed. But still, even though they had a good reaction, losing at home against Shakhtar, very disappointed for Real Madrid. So in a way, I think they'll come into this Clasico with the kind of like this they will want to set it right for their fans. They'll have the added motivation of setting it right after that very disappointing game against Shakhtar. But it's always a little bit discouraging for you as Real Madrid to receive Shakhtar in the Santiago Bernabeu and concede 3 goals in the first half. So there will be some doubts in the back of their mind. That's the problem there. So I think anemically, mentally, Barcelona is probably going to be a little bit stronger. And I expect them to win the game. I expect them to win the game because of that reason, but it's always razor thin, the margin between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Arguably the 2 best teams in the world. Nah, probably not. Bayern right now is the best team in the world, but certainly 2 of the best 5 or 6 teams in the world. Historically, also 2 of the best teams in the world, maybe even the 2 greatest teams in club football. But I mean, this is going to be even without Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, it's been a while now since Cristiano Ronaldo has played for Real Madrid. It's still a fantastic rivalry, and we're still going to get to see some of the best players in the world play for both sides. This is the game that you cannot miss. Even if you're a Premier League fan, you got to watch this game because this is unmissable. But now, going back to the Premier League, a couple hours later, we're going to have the big Premier League game of the weekend. Manchester United against Chelsea. What a game. Premier League classic, especially in modern times. And it's going to be, I'm super excited about this game. Lampard has been able to create a very good team for Chelsea. They signed a bunch of very good players this summer. They're looking very good offensively. Defensively, not so much, obviously. They're conceding a lot of goals, and they did get a clean sheet against Sevilla midweek in the Champions League, but they're looking very shaky in defense, even though they look good up front with the new signings, Werner, Ziyech, Havertz. They're looking good up front, but pretty shaky defensively. But for Manchester United, for me, the big thing is Cavani gonna start? I think that is a possibility at this point. That even if he doesn't start, he might play. He might just get his debut for Manchester United, and I think they need him. They're not looking too great, even though they did have a fantastic midweek result going to Paris and winning against the European Champions League runners-up. So Manchester United is certainly, they're going to play at home against Chelsea. They're going to be super motivated because the PSG game, PSG result. And I think that gives them a little bit of an edge. Obviously, last time they played a top six team, a big six team at home. It was against Tottenham, and they lost 6-1. But I think this is going to be different. I think that game was perhaps a little bit of a fluke. I think Manchester United is actually looking good now. They played very well against Newcastle. They got a great result. They got a great result against PSG as well, playing well. Bruno Fernandes is in great form. Rashford as well. Maybe they'll get Cavani in the team. Alex Telles made his debut against PSG. He played very well as well. So I think this is going to be a great game regardless. But I do fancy Manchester United's chances playing at home against Chelsea after the midweek result against PSG. Now, at the same time, also a very interesting game in the Bundesliga. I'm not going to talk too much about this one, but it is a good game, especially if you're a Bundesliga fan. Certainly if you're a Borussia Dortmund fan. Dortmund against Schalke 04, a classic in German football. Obviously, this year a little bit different because Schalke just looks terrible. This Schalke is the worst Schalke I've ever seen as a football fan, and Dortmund is really going to be fighting to win the Bundesliga, to disrupt Bayern's dominance in the Bundesliga this season. Tough task, obviously, but they have a chance with their fantastic young players that they have, like Haaland, like Sancho, like Reina. But for Schalke, it's really about not getting relegated, to be honest. Even though they're a historical team in the Bundesliga, they just look so bad. They already lost the coach. Really, this game is about getting a point. Getting a point would be a great result for Schalke 04 because they need to get a point anywhere they can get it. And against Dortmund, I think it's always going to be tough, especially away. It's going to be it's a game that certainly Dortmund looks likely to win, but it's still a German classic. Borussia Dortmund against Schalke 04 if you're a Bundesliga fan or a Dortmund fan. Now, and then to close the procedures on Saturday, Liverpool plays Sheffield United at home at Anfield. And Liverpool, I think, it's always interesting to see Liverpool play because they play so well. They're a fantastic side, fantastic attacking side. They won midweek in the Champions League in their debut against Ajax in Holland. They didn't have a great performance. In fact, they won with one own goal by Tagliafico, Ajax left back. So they didn't have a great debut, but it was a very decent debut against a team like Ajax, which is an European great, and they have a tough group as well with Atalanta also in that group. So it was a good debut for Liverpool in a tough game, even if it wasn't fantastic. I think they'll be playing Sheffield United. That they're going to go at it with some confidence. I expect to see a Liverpool win again. Now, that's it for Saturday. And then what can we expect on Sunday real quick? Southampton, Everton. That is going to be exciting. James Rodriguez, so far, he's been guiding Everton to a fantastic, historical even, in modern times anyways, start of the season for Everton. James Rodriguez has been in scintillating form. I do believe he's the best signing out of all the signings this summer that we've seen from any European side. Apparently, Everton actually got James Rodriguez for free. That's what they're reporting. Now, at first, it seemed that they had to pay 25 million pounds to Real Madrid for the services of the Colombian international, the Colombian superstar. Apparently, that's not even the case. They got him for free, which really makes it, I think, a no-brainer. This was the best signing of the summer, no doubt about it. And he just has changed Everton completely. He has added that quality that Everton was missing, and now they look like a Champions League side. They look very good, and they're top of the table. They have 13 points, 4 wins, and 1 draw in 5 games. They're the only undefeated team so far in the Champions League, in the Premier League this season. Even though they should have lost against Liverpool, I'm still upset at that result because Liverpool had that third goal disallowed when it shouldn't have been disallowed. But regardless, officially Everton 4 wins, 1 draw in 5 games. They're top of the table with 13 points, 1 point ahead of Aston Villa, 3 points ahead of Leeds United and Liverpool. And if they win against Southampton, they will finish the weekend again as the number 1 team in England, which is very exciting, I'm sure, for Everton fans, especially in recent times with Everton doing so badly usually, and Liverpool fans having so much to celebrate by winning the Premier League, by winning the Champions League the year before that. So interesting game against the Southampton side that has been playing well. They have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeats so far in the Premier League, and they've been looking good as well. They had a good result against Chelsea. I believe it was against Chelsea last weekend. So good game, tough game for Everton away, but I think they should be able to get something out of that game. And then finally that same day on Sunday, pretty much the last game on Sunday, Arsenal Leicester, and you see here in the picture Aubameyang, the big man for Arsenal, Jamie Vardy, really the Leicester's captain, their goal scorer, their top goal scorer, the soul of Leicester City ever since they won that fantastic they had that fantastic run in the Premier League and won it. And that's a banger, you know. Arsenal and Leicester City, they are very good attacking sides, and honestly at this point I think it's not a mismatch. I think usually Arsenal would have been the favorites, but I think they're very comparable sides at this point. Arsenal's still a little bit better. They're playing at home, so I would still give Arsenal a little bit of an advantage. But they both have the same record in the Premier League this season so far: 3 victories and 2 defeats in 5 games. So very, very similar sides, especially at this time of the season. They have the exact same record in the Premier League, so very comparable sides, and who knows who's going to win. I think Arsenal has a slight advantage, but Jamie Vardy is in great form, so who knows. And then just to finish up, on Monday we also have a couple of very interesting games to close the Premier League. Tottenham is going to play Burnley away, and then in the Serie A, AC Milan versus Roma. This is actually, in my opinion, the most exciting game in the Serie A this weekend. AC Milan, who have been fantastic so far, winning all their games, topping the Serie A table. Really, this is the comeback for AC Milan. They're having a fantastic season so far. We'll have to see if it lasts against AS Roma, who have not had the best start to their campaign this season. So obviously favorites AC Milan. They're playing at home and in much better form than Roma. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. I would appreciate that. This is still a small channel and I want to grow it. But most importantly, I hope you enjoy the matches this weekend because they're certainly going to be fantastic. Thank you so much.